What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Twisted Life of TV. I am Poetry. You're here for PNTV, Poetry's News and Twisted Views. So let me just hop right into it because I want to talk about or bring up something that I didn't write down and I don't want to forget it. So apparently, ICE is creating a database that they're going to be researching all of your social media. So they're violating your Privacy Act right out the bat, So if you type in keywords like Trump, or Epstein files, things like that, then your account will be flagged and sent to this database, and they will start monitoring you. They kind of had a system like this already. I want to say that the NSA was the one that was doing it because I have a cousin that's on the list. And it's because he checks out a lot of books from the library that have to do with the Arabic language and things like that. He's Hebrew Israelite. So his name has made the list just based off of stuff that he checks out from the library. Things that he reads from the library. So, yeah, but now that they're giving this power to ICE. So, the key, in my opinion, is to keep you from posting. Because the average person, once I saw the information about it, all the comments was like, we need to boycott the internet. We need to get off the internet. We need to do this. They want you to do that. That is the whole point of them doing that, is to get you to stop spreading the truth and to get you to stop becoming aware of what's going on, to get you to only be entertained, infotained, edutained by what they want you to see. It's a way of policing the system without actually doing it. Like, places like China, they have a very restricted, from what I've heard, they have a very restricted internet access. So there's certain things that they can't see over there that we can see because it's regulated. I believe Russia's the same way. There's certain things that they won't see over there because it's regulated. You only get the propaganda from one side, and that's what they want to do. So yeah, they're building this database, which I believe that all along these databases have been built. This is the whole point. This is how, not the whole point, but this is one of the ways that your For You pages are generated. Your recommended pages are generated. Your spam that you receive is generated, including phone calls. It's based off of things that you say out of your mouth. Big Brother been listed for a long time. Remember the movie Enemy of the State? They've been listed for a long time. So there's a lot of things that, or just basically they're just putting out there instead of being so secretive about it. Speaking of that, so Toya wanted me to bring up the Stephen Miller situation. Where did I have that at? I thought I had more than one page of notes. Did it not print out? Yo, I literally had, I got information missing. Property. Oh, I got a page missing from my notes. Because it goes from access to property, and then shoot, I don't know what the hell. Okay, so if I remember correctly, Stephen Miller was on CNN doing an interview. I don't know what the interview was about, but he was on there doing an interview. Oh, they were talking. It's a whole motherfucking lane over there. You better get to it. talking about sending troops into Oregon. Remember, I told y'all last PNTV that they were infiltrating Portland, Oregon. And so the way around going through the governor, as the law states for the president to do, the governor must approve any deployment of the guard into the city. So in a way for them to go around it, they have been asking governors of other states. So they are supposed to be deploying the Texas Guard into Chicago. I think I'm going to talk about that in a minute. Hopefully, I had 3 pages of notes and only 2 of them printed out. I'm pissed about that. I grabbed them all off the printer. I'll do a live later with the stuff I missed. So they've been going around by asking other governors. I'm not sure which state. Oh, they're trying to get California's guard to deploy into Oregon. Now, in order for them to do so, again, they're supposed to have approval of the governor, which means Gavin Newsom will have to approve sending in troops or allowing the troops to be deployed anywhere. My question of the whole thing is, how are you sending in troops from another state? Okay, which means that you are definitely using the military to go up against citizens. And I think the hope is that, which is what I initially was like, why the hell isn't that state deploying the guard then to protect themselves against the guard that's coming in? That's what they want them to do. That is exactly what they want them to do. I told y'all from back in 2016 when Trump was running against Hillary that one of his goals was to start a civil war along with depopulation of the state. I said that, okay? So if Oregon mobilizes their troops to protect the citizens against the California troops, see how civil war begins? And I believe that is 100% what they're trying to do. Same thing with Chicago. He's sending in Texas National Guard into Chicago. So Gregory Abbott, who ain't even representing his own fucking citizens in his state properly, is going to take up the helm to attack Chicago. And yes, I do call it an attack. So Stephen Miller was talking about that. And they were asking him what right he had, or basically, or about a statement he made. Because he was saying that by sending those troops from other states into these states, it's considered a legal insurrection. There's no fucking such thing. But that's what the title he's using is, a legal insurrection. Okay, so he started to go on to try to cite the precedents they have. He claims that they've already won in court to deploy the California troops. For my records, because I've been tracking this stuff, they lost in court. The federal judge blocked the deployment of those troops to anywhere, not simply Oregon, to anywhere. That was just 3 days ago, or October 3rd. I don't know what today's date is. It was October 3rd that happened. But we know they're doing some sneaky shit under the covers. We talk about the pay too. I think I'm gonna talk about the pay. I try to write it down. I missed the whole page. I'm so mad at myself. I missed the page. So during that interview, Stephen Miller decides to cite Title 10 of the U.S. Code. Title 10 of the U.S. Code is a very large document. I have not been able to get through it all, but I have not found where in that document that is matching what he said on CNN. He said under Title 10, it gives the president plenary authority. What that means is he has absolute authority without consequence, without permission, without approval, to do what the fuck he want to do. That's basically what it sums up. I had the definition written down line by line, so I can tell you what it was line by line. But so while he was about to say this and try to quote this, he stopped mid sentence, and people were trying to attribute it to like when Mitch McConnell froze. Mitch McConnell was having a stroke, child. You can't make me believe anything otherwise. This was not a freezing. This was somebody in his earpiece saying, hold the fuck up. Don't say that. Don't say that. Okay. So as soon as he stopped, you can see him looking around. Like, ooh, did I say too much? Did I do that? That's what he was looking around like. And the CNN reporter was like, Stephen, can you hear me? Stephen, can you hear me? Now, Stephen Miller was talking. There's no reason why Stephen Miller would have to stop talking because he couldn't hear you because you wasn't saying shit. He was talking. But so they decided to go to commercial break because he didn't respond. You know how y'all seen it? I know you've seen it because I've seen it 1,000 damn times. That little thing to be going around TikTok and IG where grandma on the phone asking you to come over and cut the grass and then the dudes freeze. Or the girlfriend calling, asking him to do something, and he with his boys, and they all freeze and pretend that they ain't moving. That's what Stephen Miller did, child. 57 seconds is the clip. 57 seconds. That's exactly what he did. He just froze and pretended that he was buffering. He was bluffing. That's what he was doing. He wasn't buffering. He was bluffing. Lying ass. So CNN cut and went to commercial, and then came back from commercial and decided to ask the question again. But this time, Stephen Miller's answer was nothing like what he said was attempted to say in the first place. There was no glitch. There was somebody in his ear saying, you saying the quiet parts out loud. That's exactly what there was. And speaking of the quiet parts out loud, I told y'all before that during this shutdown, why these motherfuckers keep getting on my ass? Okay, we could play all day, bitch. Because I got time today. I could be late. That's why your fucking ponytail this damn long. I told y'all in the last PNTV that people who were furloughed or made to go to work during this shutdown will receive back pay if you're a federal employee. Okay, so apparently, was it yesterday? Might have been the day before. I ain't got it in my notes, so don't let me get it wrong. While we were sleeping, the dude who's over the Project 2025 shit, who's supposed to be making these cuts for Trump, he decided, because like Trump put him over the OMB. Okay, that's the department that's really like the Office of, I forgot what the M stood for in budget. Okay, my department doesn't fall underneath him. Okay, but so he put in there, he went into the actual system, into the database, and deleted the law that says that federal employees will receive back pay if they are furloughed. So in 2019, when Dumb Donald was involved in his third shutdown of his career, the shutdown was extending to like 35 days. Okay. And people were on his fucking head about this shutdown. So as part of the negotiations to come out of the shutdown, he signed into law an act that will, I think it's the Fair Something Act. I can't think of the name of it. I don't have it fucking written down. But he put in an act into law in 2019 that stated that federal employees, whether they are furloughed and receiving, because when you're furloughed, you sometimes get unemployment, whether they are furloughed or whether they are working and not getting paid during the shutdown, were legally eligible for back pay. So what old boy did was go in the system and delete that law. Like backspace, backspace, delete. He removed it. There was no order from, no written order from the president. He may have been verbally told what to do. There was no congressional vote. There was no citizenship vote. There was no courts involved. He just went in there and deleted. What he deleted was the part for the people who are furloughed, stating that they are not eligible for back pay. And Mike Johnson, old lying ass, gets on TV and said, well, there's this new law that came about. I don't know what it is. I haven't seen it. Then stop fucking lying about it, because there ain't no damn new law. These motherfuckers don't never see shit. Isn't it amazing how the fucking GOP never sees anything? They never know nothing, but they the ones who running y'all fucking party. Y'all just as dumb as them to continuously vote for them. Because these motherfuckers don't know nothing. They throw stones and hide their fucking hands. They never know nothing. He said he didn't know what it was, but he's sure it was signed this morning. There was nothing fucking signed. They probably gonna get a retroactive signature from Dumb Donald, but nothing was signed. This motherfucker went into the database and backspace, deleted on y'all ass so y'all couldn't get back pay. And then Mike Johnson stood up there with his bald face ass, pale face, lying ass, and said, well, our legal advisors, they're the ones who said that, yeah, it's very possible you won't get back pay. I don't see why you would. They don't think that it's a good idea. What legal advisors that y'all got are smart? What legal advisors do y'all have to tell the truth? What legal advisors do y'all have that know the fucking law and follow it and abide by it? Not nan. Not nan. As Trina would say, not nan. And like I said, if you could call the White House all you want, you're not going to get through. The comment line isn't open. You're going to get a fucking recording. Damn, I'm so mad about this shit. Damn, I'm mad about my notes. So, I posted up on the community board about the Epstein Trump statue that's up at the National Hall directly in front of the Capitol. There was Trump and Epstein holding hands, and it was a statue memorializing their friendship and their bond with quotes on the placards about that came out of the birthday book. And I was like, I don't know who the hell erecting these statues, but they petty as fuck, and they my kind of petty. You know what I'm saying? Because once the government shut down, the parks department lost 75% of its staff on the furlough, being furloughed. So they didn't have the bodies or the manpower to go out there and remove the statue. Well, coming to find out, that ain't even what happened. There was an actual lawsuit that was filed by the creators of that statue. And they took it to court, saying that the Parks Department removed their statue or their contribution against the law. And the judge agreed. That's how the statue was re-erected. So the Parks Department is not going to be able to touch it at all. The statue remains. You know, memorializing DTT, what the fuck is his name? The Dumb Don and Jeffrey Epstein's loving relationship. They're holding hands, frolicking. That's how that statue came back, y'all. So, Marjorie Taylor Greene, y'all know I don't like to agree with her at all. I don't fucking rock with her at all. But I told y'all when I was watching my Handmaid's Tale reviews, so I can still root when my enemy goes against my other enemy. Okay. And in this particular case, I am gleeful that Marjorie Taylor Greene is speaking out. A broken clock can be right twice a day, y'all. That's I love that phrase, and it definitely applies because she's a fucking broken clock. So anywho, she's on TV, you know, in the media, in the press, speaking about the lies about the health care. The MAGA nuts led by Mike Johnson and his fearless leader, Dum Don, are lying and saying that the Democrats are the ones who is shut down the government because they're trying to get health care to the immigrants. Okay. Um, and what it is that the Democrats are trying to extend the Affordable Care Act. Trump has been trying to get rid of Obamacare, which is the Affordable Care Act. They're the same thing. He's been trying to get rid of that for the longest. So this is his way of suppressing it. And that's what they're not budging on. They're trying to remove the healthcare benefits that people already have under Obamacare. And the Democrats are trying to extend that program. That's what they're trying to do. That's what they're fighting. That's what the whole fight is. And Mike Johnson is coming on TV saying that, it's, I don't even know what the fuck the term red herring means, but he used the term that it was a red herring and it's the Democrats' fault. The Democrats this, the Democrat trying to, like I said, get health care for not immigrants, for illegals. That's the word he used. And Marjorie Taylor Greene came out and said he a bald-faced ass lie. He a bald-faced ass lie. She's broke down exactly what the whole issue is. It's about subsidies that are within the healthcare agreement. It has nothing to do with illegal aliens. It's about whether or not it's going to extend that Obamacare. That is the issue. Okay. And Mike Johnson was also confronted by Mike Kelly and another representative out of Arizona about the fact that he still has not sworn in the newly elected representative from that state. It's been 2 weeks now. He's given up all kind of excuses. He said the reason why she's not sworn in because her family wasn't there. Now she already has been putting out video that she was on the floor before the shutdown to which she could be sworn in. Mike Johnson is lying and saying that she didn't get elected into office until after the shutdown happened, which is bullshit. She was in office. She was elected in office before the shutdown happened. She could have been sworn in. But the two Republicans that got sworn in just a couple months ago when the House wasn't in session, he's saying it's because they brought their families, and that's why. So maybe if she showed up with her families, they'll go ahead and do it. Maybe that's what they need, for her to just show up with her family. Lying ass. What? Oh, I was going to say something else. Okay, speaking of elections in Alaska, which is a very, very, very red state, the city of Fairbanks has been Republican for the last 10 years, and they just flipped the seat blue, which is why I have hope for Florida. I really do. It may be false hope, but I got hope for Florida. Alaska has flipped the seat blue in Fairbanks, Alaska. For the last 10 years, that city, that town, has been Republican led. So just in a special election, just the other day, that seat got flipped, and by a 9-point margin to Mindy O'Neill. I hope you are who you say you are. I hope you are not a Repub or a MAGA nut or a Heritage Foundation recipient that is just running for a seat just to fill the spot and then, flip your position. Okay. Evidence came out stating that Dumb Donald issued the loyalty test to FBI members, proving they were loyal to him. It's like a 7-question test. And we talked about this before. This was an initiative that was set in Project 2025 or Agenda 47. They were getting so crossed. They crossed so many hairs. I don't remember which one it was in. Both of them are Trump enacted policies, but they said that they was going to start making employees prove their loyalty to him in order to have a job in the federal department. I noticed that in I told y'all before, I noticed that in the VA that a lot of people was getting furloughed and getting laid off, and they were getting replaced. And I noticed just the other day that they're all getting replaced by white males. And these white males don't seem to be what's the word I'm saying? What's the term I want to use? Okay, let me just say it. They seem to be MAGA nuts. My whole podiatry department no longer has women other than the ones that's sitting at the front desk. All the women doctors are gone. Remember I told you my doctor was new? I didn't realize until I went to my appointment the other day that they're all men now. All white men. And they got new intern students that are white Latino men. Interesting to say the least. Interesting to say the least. Okay, so up in Chicago, like I said, we know that the ICE and have infiltrated Chicago and this and other. Over the weekend, ICE killed a person. And they shot a priest as well, an unarmed priest, while they were up on a rooftop on the building. He was standing down there with the protesters. Actually, wasn't even anybody even around him at the point that he was shot. He wasn't like in the crowd, like that. We had like the the religious leaders out there with the protesters doing Mike Brown situation as well. That's pretty much what he was doing as well. And he was shot by ICE in addition to the one that was killed. I don't have the name of the person who was killed, but it has been in the news. Mayor Johnson, Brennan Johnson, was talking about it. And so the police of Chicago, the CPD, responded to the shooting. They responded to the shooting and was tear gassed by the federal agents. You see what I'm saying? They are trying to create this civil war. They want the police who are standing with Mayor Johnson, to attack ICE in a capacity that it would create war, civil war in these cities. 27 officers were affected by them deploying tear gas by the ICE people or the federalized persons, because I don't even want to call them agents. They deployed tear gas into an American city, not pepper spray, tear gas, a military weapon. They deployed that onto the Chicago PD, and 27 officers were affected by that. Now, the other day I asked, what the hell are the governor and the mayor doing, and why ain't no other mayors in other cities stepping up as well, because it's going to bleed over into your city? I asked that question. Mayor Brennan Johnson is doing some shit. Within his authority, he is doing some shit. He signed an executive order in the city of Chicago that no ICE agent can utilize city-owned buildings for immigration purposes. The law says they are creating ICE-free zones. So it banned ICE from entering any city-owned property. This order designates schools, parks, and libraries off limits and allows private businesses to opt into the protection network. The move follows a series of controversial ICE raids in Chicago. So they are also given signs to put onto their property. So this property is owned and or controlled by the city of Chicago. It may not be used for civil immigration enforcement, including a staging area, a processing location, or an operations base. And private owned business owners in Chicago can contact the mayor's office and get the sign as well, so that they can put it on their properties, which prevents ICE from entering their businesses. There's already a lot of restaurants that are refusing to let them in. I know Christy Noem bitch ass went up there and they refused to let her use the bathroom in one of these facilities. Stand strong, Chicago. That's the main thing I need to say. Stand strong, keep up the fight. I'm with you there in spirit. Black people still stand down. Because the more of us that shows up, the more violent the actions against the protesters have become. There was another video I saw. The general up in Oregon, going back to Oregon since this is one of the hot spots. I'm not sure why we don't have as much information about. Scoot your bitch ass up. Much information about Memphis. Oh Lord Jesus. But the general over the National Guards says if by chance they are federalized by the president, he is going to order his troops to go out there and protect the citizens. That will be their mission. Also, back to Chicago. Also in Chicago, Chicago PD is also arresting ICE agents as well for attempting to roll over or roll through protests, attempting to snatch people off the street without identifying themselves, without having awards. And again, they are not allowed to wear masks in Chicago because the mayor had already drew up an executive order banning them from wearing masks. On air just yesterday, this is a quick blurb. DTJ admitted that they took away everybody's freedom of speech. Claim it was done by the authority of the courts. I don't know when that was supposed to happen, but that's when they claimed it was done. What court? What court gave you the right to remove the First Amendment? I know the Supreme Court has done some stupid shit, but I don't recall them doing that one. Okay, I'm at work. I'm going to have to get back to you on another video. See you. Peace. Thank you for watching. All right, y'all. I figure I'll finish out the PNTV instead of coming on and doing a live. I'm actually heading back to my office. So, let's see. So, I'm going to pick up where I left off. So, the Chicago order saying that the ICE can't enter the government-owned buildings and how you can go get a sign. Just understand that order does not prohibit lawful use of city property. So if the ICE agents have a lawful reason, which is not in regards to immigration, then they can use city property. They can enter city property. So like I said, with the one person that said that Chrissy Noem couldn't use the bathroom, if that business restricts people who not buying things from using the bathroom or they refusing service, they could do so. It was rumored that Trump was supposed to be ordering the arrest of Governor Pritzker and Mayor Johnson, claiming that they are putting the ICE agents in danger. First of all, like I said, they wearing masks when they ain't supposed to be. They not identifying themselves when they supposed to be. They not presenting a warrant when they supposed to be. They snatching and manhandling people on the street, throwing people to the ground, being excessively abusive. So they don't need to be protected. If you can't identify yourself, then you are a fucking hostile threat to that person, and they have the right to defend themselves. Okay, but that's what the last word I heard was that he was gonna try to arrest Pritzker and Mayor Johnson because they're not protecting the ICE. Fuck ICE. Okay, so I talked about the Oregon National Guard. Yeah. Okay, I talked about Trump taking away the freedom of speech, or he admitted it on air that he's taking away the freedom of speech. So I only had two more things. That's why I said I was gonna go ahead and do this on my way back to work. So I had posted up on the community board that Disney was getting rid of Hulu altogether. That after 20 years, Hulu is going to go away. That was kind of misleading, the first article that I read. What that means is that Hulu is not going to be a standalone app any longer. It's like right now, you pay for Disney Plus or you pay for Hulu, or you can get them as a bundle. Hulu will no longer be a separate app. So as far as Europe is concerned, or overseas is concerned, abroad, the Hulu app is going to be replaced by something called Stars. Oh no, Hulu will be replacing Star, which is an app that's used overseas. This is going to happen next year. Here in America, the app itself will no longer exist. It won't be phased out or nothing like that, or taken over by another app name. It won't no longer exist. So you will have to have a Disney Plus account to watch any programming that is on the Hulu app. So I was like, this is already my third sign now for me not to review Testament. So I don't think I'm reviewing it. Even though I got the issue cleared up, I'm not finna sign up for a Disney account. I already left Disney when they started trying to find out information about what our sexual orientation is. I left Disney then. But when then Hulu had upgraded and they're supposed to still had a Disney ID or whatever to sign in to Hulu, I think that still happened, but we don't have a Disney account. Okay. So as of next year, any program that you wanted to watch on Hulu by itself must be seen through the Disney app. As of October, the Disney Plus app. See, we had Disney, that's what it was. Disney Plus app. So you had to buy the Disney Plus service in order to watch anything on Hulu. As of October 21st, all Hulu and Disney subscriptions are going up. The programs or the websites, the streaming services as they are today, being that it hasn't been dissolved yet, all the prices are going up on October 1st. The average price increase is $3 with the exception of those bundles. So if you have the bundle that's Hulu and Disney and ESPN and live TV all together, things like that, those bundles will increase by $7 a month. October 21st. That's when it all goes down in the DM. Okay. And then I'm going to end this on, I guess it could be good news. Good, it's good news to a lot of music lovers and rap fans. They are going to bring Versuz back. I don't know where it's going to be shown, if it's going to be on the internet like it started out, or it's going to be moved over to VHS or MTV or whatever, how it ended up. But October 25th, they are bringing Versuz back, and it's going to be a battle of the bayou, baby. Two of Louisiana's finest groups, musical groups, the No Limit Soldiers versus Cash Money. Now, I think I'm more partial to Cash Money, even though I love No Limit as well. But both groups got something going against them if they decide to bring these people out. No Limit, Snoop Dogg used to be signed to them. Snoop Dogg can go suck a fat baby's dick for all I care right now in his support for Trump. Fuck him and feed him grits. Lil Wayne is with Cash Money. Lil Wayne also has support of Donald Trump. He can go, jump off a slippery slope and fall on a bed of glass. For all I care in regards to Lil Wayne. No, I can't I can listen to their music. I won't buy their music more. I won't support their music. I won't support them. If they're on the TV, I turn that shit off. So I would like to hear their music, but I don't want to see them performing it. I want to hear their old shit, but I don't want to see them perform it. It's really kind of hard to separate the person and in their position, especially when they are supporting our fucking oppressors. Which is why I don't fuck with Kid Rock anymore. I used to like Kid Rock. My friends will tell you I went to Kid Rock's concerts. Carrie Underwood, she used to be my motherfucking karaoke song. Before he cheats and shit like that. Fuck her too. Okay, so it's hard for me in this day and age to separate the music and the artists, especially with the heinous things they are supporting. Nelly too. He from my hometown. You know how I was. Fuck him too. That's how I feel about it. So damn, I want to see this Versuz, but I don't want to see them. I don't even want their music to be included. Actually, even though I wouldn't mind hearing it, I don't want it to be included because I know what it's gonna well up in me. Mystical, out of the No Limit Soldiers, Mystical is still in jail. He got arrested back in 2022 for rape and false imprisonment. He still has not went to trial for that case. He still ain't went to trial, but he's in jail still, so he ain't coming. See, Murder, he got arrested in 2002. He's serving a life sentence. He ain't coming either. And then if Cash Money decided to also bring Drake or Nicki, I'm not watching at all. You know, because they're supposed to be in Cash Money. You know what I'm saying? So if they perform, I'm not watching it at all. But that fuck, I won't know until they actually air it. I'm gonna catch it on the replays. That's what I'm gonna have to do. So that's the good news for the day, y'all. I'm gonna go ahead and stitch these two together. Thank y'all for watching. Thank y'all for being here. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. Peace.